Man, you guys don't even know. I was about to jump on here and light up all these TikTok Bible police keep jumping into my comments. These one-liner Christians, these self-appointed scholars with their seminary degrees from Google and GPT University. And then the Lord reminded me of something in James. But the wisdom from above is first of all pure, then peaceful, kind, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy, and peacemakers who sow seed in peace raise a harvest of righteousness. The wisdom that comes down from above is first of all pure and then peaceful. But not just peaceful, kind, open to reason, and full of mercy. It's that peaceful and full of mercy one that hit the hardest, because the thing is that every time I get on here, the reason I make these videos is because I want to encourage those of you who have been beat down by theology, who have been pulled apart by just people being people, right? Because the thing is that the church is full of people, guys. It's full of people. I'm a person. I'm part of the problem. Right, I was just about to jump on here and just eviscerate a whole bunch of people, and I'm supposed to be somebody on here trying to build people up, right? And yet I can get in my feelings and jump on here and try to tear people apart because I get irritated and I let myself get in my flesh. But that is not how the wisdom of God works. The wisdom of God is first of all pure, but then peaceful. And the fact that the second one is peaceful is so incredibly important, because if at any point in time I come in to this forum and my heart is not in the place of peace and restoration, then I'm preaching from the wrong heart, right? And now there are times that I may rebuke severely some of the ways that things are being done, some of the ideologies, okay? Let me be very clear, it's the ideologies that I'm after. Okay, because people are enslaved to their ideologies. It's never about the people. It's about the ideologies that they're enslaved to. But even if I get severe in my rebuke of an ideology, if the heart is not always peace, if the heart is not always the hope of freeing a brother or sister, if the heart is not one that is full of mercy, right? It's recognizing the fact that a lot of times people jump into my comments with the best of intentions, and it may just be ignorance. They genuinely just were taught incorrectly. That happens. And I'm not even saying that as like I'm just never wrong. That's not the case. I'm actually frequently wrong. In fact, somebody actually called out the fact that I misquoted something in one of my one of the stories I was telling about Moses, because Moses actually, when he went back to see Pharaoh, it wasn't the original Pharaoh. The original Pharaoh had died, and it was a new Pharaoh. And I hadn't read the story in a while. I got that wrong. That was a great call out, and I appreciated that, because I don't want to be inaccurate, but half the time I do these videos, I have to do them off the top of my head, and unfortunately, as good as my memory is, it's just not perfect. But when it's an ignorant call out, my response to that can't be to get fired up and get feisty and jump in and start, pulling people apart and doing all the things that I know how to do, that I've been trained to do, that is not helpful. Right? Like if I'm gonna jump into the comment section, sometimes I'll check somebody just because I recognize that they're making comments without context. I get a lot of people that watch like the first 2 seconds of my video, make a judgment, and then jump in my comments and start rebuking me for being a false prophet. And it's like, for those people, it's like, dude, did you watch the video? Right? But even that though, I have to be careful that it's from the right heart, because the wisdom of God is peaceful. The wisdom of God is kind, right? Am I responding to people in a way that's kind? And is my intention right? Is my intention to light them up because they're jumping in and being ignorant, and I'm just, in a mood and I'm just not feeling it, right? Like, is that kindness, right? Is my heart in a place of kindness? Is my heart in a place of gently correcting those that are talking out the side of their neck? I mean, even in making this, I'm still a little bit raw. I mean, it's been a day that's left me a little bit raw. And the thing is, I decided to make this because I wanted y'all to get to see the reality of what it is, right? I want y'all to get to see real life, not the pretty picture that I could edit in and make everything look so, so perfect and like I've got this all together. I'm so righteous and whatever, because I'm not. I'm a person, just like all of you. I have so many areas that I fail in, and it is a short step from faith to flesh. Guys, I literally taught on this exact verse on Tuesday. That's how short the step is from faith to flesh. This is why it's so important that we constantly be in tune with the Spirit. You could have a day like I had today and just, the day just wears on you and you just get to a point where, things that normally wouldn't really bother you, they just land differently. And then, a split second later, you're out here lighting somebody up. And well deserved or not, right? It doesn't matter, because what did Jesus say when he was hanging on the cross and it was well deserved for him to call down his legions of angels and wipe out all of humanity? And instead he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's what it looks like to be that in tune with the Spirit, that even in the moment where everything, like, man, to be at the like how raw he must have been at that moment. I mean, his body is seconds away from death, humiliated, the king of the universe on a cross in front of his own creation, who thinks that they have achieved something, not understanding how very close they were to just utter destruction. I mean, at any moment, the Father could have just had enough and just wiped everything out. And yet, even in that moment, he had the awareness, the presence of mind, the connection to the Spirit, to not just resist cursing them, but to bless them, to demonstrate the purity of the wisdom of God, the peacefulness of the wisdom of God, the kindness of the wisdom of God. Anyway, I wanted to make this while I was still in the heat of the moment, so you guys have an opportunity to just, like I said, I want y'all to see reality. And so much stuff in media allows us to hide the reality of things. We get on social media and we look at these people who are teaching or preaching, or, it's not even just in the church. It's people that are like just in general, right? I mean, flying on private jets and whatever else it is. And the reality of their life is so far from what they're showing you on the internet, And so anytime I have an opportunity to show you guys what's real, I want y'all to get the chance to see it, because I think sometimes, we just get disillusioned. We see these people and we get this feeling based on what we see online and what we see in the way that they present their life. We kind of get this feeling that, man, it's like somehow they've just got it all together and I just can't seem to get it together. And what's wrong with me? And the reality of the matter is nobody's got it together. We all have areas in our life where the gap between faith and flesh is so close that a split second and you can make that jump. And that doesn't mean we stay there. It doesn't mean we don't get better. It doesn't mean we don't improve and become powerful and all of those things, right? And do I believe that it's possible that we get there? Heck yeah, I do. If I didn't believe that, I wouldn't show up every single day and ask the Lord, like, Lord, how do we get there, right? How do we get to the place that Peter talked about, where we live the rest of our earthly lives no longer controlled by human desires, but by God's will? But I also don't want people to get discouraged when they watch my channel or they see the things that I talk about and get the wrong idea that just because the Lord has granted me a tremendous amount of understanding and the ability to communicate well, that means that like I'm just perfect in everything that I teach. I mean, that's part of just being a guy who shares the things that God has shared with him. Man, you guys have no idea how many times I wake up and I look at the things that God has showed me and I go, Lord, I can't share that with anyone because I can't even live up to that. So anyway, I hope this helps some of you. There is so much available to us to become. We can be so much further than I think a lot of us were taught. But at the same time, we also have to take stock of reality, and it's got to be okay. It's got to be okay to be where you are, because the Holy Spirit has to meet you where you are to get you to where it is that it's possible for you to go. But it all starts with honesty, and so this is me being honest. Like this is reality. This is what it looks like. It's not pretty most of the time. Sometimes it comes out, smooth and looks good, but most of the time it's just this. It's messy. It's a mix. It's all the amazing things that God has showed me and the talents that He's given me, blended with a broken, messed up person that is getting better every day.